The International Electronic Recycling Congress gave in the past and give in the future the best networking platform to find solutions and share them with all the stakeholders in this global electric and electronic industry.
To use waste as a resource is a very big issue and importance also in the future. Accordingly, recycling and energy recovery are the key milestones in sustainable waste management.
A final line of action would be a global action. And I think rather than to export illegally our electronic waste, we should focus on exporting our standards.
I don't see a reason why countries applying different waste categories in the WEEE directive. You know, why do some countries differentiate between small, means less than 50 centimeters, big products, and others say TV, fridges, and washing machines? I think this is easy to harmonize if there is will on both sides.
The problem is that we have a waste stream that we have to become under control. And this is only possible if all the stakeholders and all the partnerships agree to the common goal that they want to do something. As long as we don't have this willingness, this awareness, it's very, very hard for the government on themselves to come to a solution.
I think that it's a fair or good idea to get in the legislation, the new WEEE recast, the mandatory handover of e-waste from municipalities and retailers to the systems, because that's why we are there.
The nature of recyclables, of recycling materials, is getting that material back into the market.
I have nothing against reusing products. I have something against exporting to countries where there's no solution for the end of life of the product.
You need the umbrella from the authorities to make a good job, because good means also a little bit expensive.
I must say I still love my job. I still love journalism. I still love the recycling industry. And most of all, I love the people in the recycling industry, because the people make the recycling industry what it is. It makes it so interesting. Hasta la vista, baby. I'll be back.
In a discussion of the legislative framework, we need to move a little far ahead of our own industry sector, because if not, we don't approach the legislation the right way.
To my mind, the only possibility is to change the actors and to change the play, so that there are economical incentives to be in, which are better than to be out.
We can influence everything. It's all in our responsibility, and you can blame us if recyclers which we got under our contracts do illegal exports. It is the responsibility of the manufacturers, full stop.
Put on the market is something very clear. There must be more dedicated work done on that, but it's much easier and a better base for increasing the collection rates.
If the producers could begin to really capture their own materials and their own grades, as we see in the system that's run in Japan, then that really opens up a whole load of new opportunities, in my view, for high-value recycling.
All of us, we should do everything we can do to make sure this country lives up to our children's expectations.
And it's not about the United States, it's about all of us. It's a pretty small globe that we live on and we inhabit. It's becoming ever and ever more crowded.
We will do the job. We will do it Chinese style, our way. Forget about exporting European standards to China. That is exactly why this part of the world has such a bad future.
We can be innovative, we can be competitive, and we should do it. I mean, if it's real urban mining and we need these, resources, then we should do it. We must invest. If it's going to be, instead of lying on our back and see what happens and then we export everything to China, that would be a nightmare.
If you are weak, you have to be smart. And what does that mean? You have to link design for recycling with something else which is more powerful. And then your extra advantage you are bringing in with design for recycling is tipping the balance of the total into your favor. So play the game, and if you play the game in a smart way and realize that your ambition is not to rule the world, but be smart, then you can achieve a lot.
I think there is a future in Europe for European recycling companies, but I also would like to see in the year 2020 European companies out there taking advantages of some of the opportunities that may arise in China, as my colleague here has said, or in other parts of the world. Now, if European companies are not going out there to get those business, then we have a real problem.
We need a regulation, and we need that regulation should integrate countries like Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Uruguay, just to get scale. Okay, we are growing markets, but we need scale to generate global or local or regional solutions.
We don't really recycle, we downcycle. And it's just slow motion waste and resource depletion. If the world consumed the way the United States consumed, the world would be out of resources in a very short time. There's all sorts of UN studies on this, but oil wouldn't last very long, paper wouldn't last, trees wouldn't last very long. We have to do this sustainable, we have to manufacturing, sustainable production. If we don't, the world is not going to be able to continue to go on the way it is.
We don't have really a standard for operators. So we are a government, and our standard is According to our view, that's legislation. And we have standard, the standard is legislation. That tells what a collection point needs to do and what the requirements are.
Since the players in the recycling networks want to cater to their customers' requirements, it would be a tremendous relief if their customers would speak with one voice and not with one voice each individually. Defined and controlled treatment processes guarantee the continuous quality and supply of commodities.
In all the survey we ran in last years, and when we asked to the consumer, what is your priority? The answer, and by far, is we want a proper treatment and we want environmental protection.
Furthermore, you can say that the legislation is static. We are now already for more than 2 years talking about the recast WEEE directive, and I find it personally a shame that we are not able to solve this while there are good new, proposals to improve.
I think one aspect that runs through many of our discussions on this type of topic is what kind of the world are we going to be leaving for our children in terms of environmental health and safety, in terms of economic considerations.